Welcome back to Lobotomy Corporation. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, you sexy mother lovers. Now, this is my first time getting to day 24, and we've also got some interesting abnormalities to take a look at. I didn't actually play it off stream like I said I would, I should also tell you guys that I am recording this live on stream, just because sometimes things go wild, I have some weird shit happen, and it just ends up being there's some content that you could see on stream that you won't see on YouTube. So, going forward with Lobotomy Corporation, with Library of Ruina, I'm going to be doing live recording for that. Alright? So, I want to, I want to see, well, for one, I kind of hope Legs McGee over here, the black hole made of thighs, fucking breaks out. I want to see what happens when it breaks out. For that reason, I'm going to have all of my tier 5 agents down here, just sitting on standby. Just all of them. I don't care if they're well equipped or anything. If they're tier 5, they're going down. If you're tier 5, you belong down here. So let's go ahead and speed the day up. Luckily, I don't have to worry about choo-choo. I do, however, have to worry about Acacia going insane, apparently. Yes, that is a very real possibility. I put the wrong person in here. Okay, we got a meh result. Let's look at the managerial guidelines. Agents with temperance level 3 or lower immediately threw themselves into the abnormality upon encountering it. Yo, what's popping, Janaskus? When an agent with prudence level 4 or lower completed their work, the Clifoff counter lowered. When more than 60 seconds of work time had taken place, the Clifoff counter lowered by 1, and the agent who was working threw herself in. Interesting. Interesting. So, let's go ahead and throw Sheen in here. Sheen's actually going to be a little bit better to do this sort of work. Oh no, I just hadn't. I hadn't seen Darky around, so I assumed that some shit happened. By the way, yeah, that is actually John Askus. If you're into Lil Darky or Spider Gang. Employees with temperance level 2 or prudence level 3 or lower were sucked in as they encountered the escaping abnormality. While the abnormality is outside of its containment, all sounds will be reduced to silence, with a low-pitched tone emerging. The pitch will accompany a visually disruptive effect. While it is outside of its containment, all panicking employees in the facility will be sucked into the center of the abno and vanish. Okay, so we don't want this guy escaping. Alright, alright. We know a few things about it. So, basically, we just want people with tier 5 temperance and prudence going in. Tier 5 only. Okay. Okay, and it seems like insight is the best work here. Oh, let's see the lore. We are releasing the blacklist to the public. Those who are on this wait list must wait 3 days of mental treatment provided by the company and will receive punishment accordingly by their respective Sephira. We are making this list public to bring your attention to the astonishing number of infected employees around you. Please note, calling Emily, who killed herself after breaking into the containment unit of a certain abnormality, a martyr, will be treated as non-compliance with the company's rules. On a side note, we would like to praise employee Dylan's courageousness in his rescuing of employee Sophie, who was about to throw herself into a certain abnormality. If you see any of your valuable colleagues displaying this kind of behavior, please promptly report it to the Sephra in charge. Okay, that's interesting. It is my first time actually properly wanting to deal with an Aleph, instead of seeing one as something that I can't actually handle. I'm assuming if an employee goes insane in the facility, in this thing, they'll also be sucked into the abnormality. We'll activate the Glyphosate counter with this thing, because I really want to see what it's actually called. And luckily, it doesn't have anything that lowers its Glyphosate counter if it has a good result, which I am stunningly happy about. Ah, you did well with the all-around helper. Nice, nice. Well, fair enough. We'll throw Sheen back in here. Alright, where's the melting down containment cells? We'll throw... I mean, like, this is a test... no. Let's see... Yeah, this is a pretty good employee to throw at it. Somebody work on that. Have, Ava from... training, work with the Snow Queen. I should take care of that. The Blue Star was born in the depths of despair. Ooh. Meat Lantern is broken out. Okay. Where's the flower? Where's the flower? Ah, here's the flower. Okay, well, now we can just have people work on random abnormalities. So we can throw Sullivan into this. No, we'll throw Sullivan into not Schadenfreude. All-around helper. We'll throw Neville to the shoes. And Retro Soul at this thing. We'll throw Ava from training at Snow Queen. And we'll throw Genie at Queen Bee. That should get us close to the Kleinfeld meltdown. That's 5. We can fit one more person. One more worker. Yeah, sure, I'll feed Ramirez to the singing machine. Did Ramirez just jump in despite having all the things saying he wouldn't? Yes, he literally jumped in despite having... Oh no, he had the fortitude too high. Well, rest in peace, Ramirez. I don't fucking care about you. I can get a new Ramirez. Fuck you. Rest in pepperoni, dude. There we go. There's 10% energy quota, and I'll probably have all my work done by noon. Whoa. 1. Look at this ego suit. too. Look at this ego weapon. Wait, is that a tinfoil hat? No, it's legs. There's a blindfold with legs. Dylan, I don't believe you turned Sophie and us over deliberately. I'm sure you were just worried about Sophie. She's locked up now. I heard that she repeatedly tried to escape, so they tied her to the bed. Tell me, is it wrong to have faith? We are all sinners, and our blue star is the only sanctuary that accepts us. We will be cleansed of our sins there. We all go back to that place someday. This is an instinct. You thought Emily died when she threw herself into the star. But she simply returned to her rightful place. She's a martyr. She has become an eternal star. The rise of a star is a brand new beginning. Don't you hear the everlasting sound of the trumpet? When you stand close to the star, you can hear the welcoming cheers and singing. If every employee returns to that place, only Blue Star will remain here. Let us meet again as stars. Damn, son! Everybody evacuate the, Tifrith floor. Well, rest in peace, Neville. It looks like I have to restart the day. Yep, I have to restart the entire day because of the Firebird. Okay, you know what? Fuck you, Ramirez. Fuck you, Ramirez. Bursting into a fucking pile of gore like that. You're a little bitch. I don't need you. There we go. Sabin's justice has gone up, meaning that they can work with the Schadenfreude. The human mind is a melting pot of feelings. Memories, obsessions, wishes, agonies, and the feelings of happiness and sadness. Stronger emotions have stronger impetus. The combined efforts of numerous people has brought Lobotomy Corporation to where it is now. We had to keep on with various experiments. Just as we hire new employees now, we recruited numerous people for the experiments. There was not a definite shape at first. Then it slowly assumed a form. Finally, A understood while he was studying the changes. Their abilities, where they lived, their jobs, and their strengths were not so important. What was required was a massive amount of energy. This meant we had just one singular thing to pay attention to. It's always floating around, left to rot at the back of everyone's head, twisting your mind until you are left with nothing but self-loathing. The subconscious. Come to think of it, I haven't properly asked for your opinion. Do you truly wish to meet A? Oh, of course. Alright then. I will let A know of your thoughts when he returns. However, do not expect him to give you a warm greeting. A is a person who conceals his mind. Perhaps even more than I do. Creepy. Manager, how do the Sephiroth appear to you? You must see them as humans, just like yourself. Irritation, smiles, desire, and frowns color their faces. A range of emotions much more human than myself, perhaps. However, are you aware of a key fact? If there were to be any AI in this place that would be sophisticated enough to be considered a human in terms of appearance, only I would fit that criteria. Haven't I been telling you since the beginning? I am the one and only truly superb AI here. To witness the essence of things is not at all important in this place. All that you see is distorted and filtered quite heavily. Everything here is obstructed, just for you. Perhaps you could understand it better if I put it that way. Wait, what? Here's Tifrith, whom you should already know. Are you really Tifrith? What kind of stupid question is that? Who do you think would be otherwise? This is what they actually look like? That dumbfounded expression never ceases to amuse me. To tell you the truth, this part is usually where it gets boring. That great expression of yours does give me a chuckle. You don't happen to think I'm the only one, right? Every Sephiroth you've seen is just like me. And the same goes to the Sephiroth you'll meet in the future. All thanks to that stupid AI ethics amendment. Next, here is the place where we were born, and where we will return to someday. Maybe after everything is over, we will rest here, singing the song of our hometown. What the fuck? Wait, it's got blood. One of them was just killed? Why? I hope your next version will last longer, Tifereth. Well then, Tifereth, I will send the next one over whenever he's ready. Yeah, they just fucking murdered the... there's blood and guts inside of it. How is that... What? Thank you, Lady Angela. So, this is where everyone was. It took me long enough to find you guys, since you weren't at the meeting room. What's happening, Malkith? Netchak asked me to fetch a document from the other Tifereth. Oh, I'm afraid it's not ready yet. Something urgent and turned up. And make sure to tell Netchak that he should show up himself next time. Well, Netchak said he's a bit busy. I'll tell him to visit you another time then. Why are you uppers all the same? Netchak isn't busy at all. He just doesn't want to move. But I'm having fun with this errand. Oh, you're replacing Tifereth right now. Looks like the cycle's getting shorter. It must be concerning, Tifereth. Don't worry about me. Just be mindful of your notebook. It looks like it'll fall apart to shreds at any moment by the looks of it. Oh, it is. Thanks for your concern. Yeah, he's probably getting busy getting high. It was a pleasure to see you too, manager. Okay, so wait. There was blood and guts inside of Tifereth. Inside of the Sephiroth thing. Nice to meet you. I'm Tifereth. You can skip the introductions, Tifereth. Right now, it's time for you to examine the plan Netchak gave us. Alright. Alright, what happens to him now? What do you mean, what happens to him now? Ah, you're talking about the machine we just discarded? New heirs could pop up if the old one is not completely terminated. And that'd be very troublesome on my end. While I am in charge of Central Command, there are two of us at the same time. I always feel like I need more than two of me around here. Leave the day without a single containment unit's Clive-off meltdown. Okay. You take care of... Okay. Oh, hello, sir. Wait, Elijah. Isn't it Malkith's past life? Sorry, I'm quite busy. I still haven't finished even half of what I've written down in my notebook. Hey, I heard extraction experiments are going to be conducted. When I looked over the list of participants, I couldn't find my name on it. I mean, there's probably a ton of reasons behind it. Maybe I'm just not good enough for the experiment yet. But, may I join the experiment too? Oh no, I started reading the books that the stuff's based off of. I've learned a lot here. I'm sure I can help you in some way. I'll be sure to not disappoint. Hello, manager. It's sad to not have enough talent, isn't it? If someone doesn't look back towards you, what does that mean? That they don't acknowledge you. That they don't even care about what expression you may be making. that they feel no need to see what you're doing, as they've already come to a conclusion. Have you ever clawed and scraped at the floor, writhing in pain? It really does sound excruciating. But in reality, the moment I completely lost my fingernails, I felt nothing. You stare at the flesh where your fingernails used to be, and just before you lose consciousness, when you feel that you aren't yourself anymore, you start to laugh frantically. Even though it's not funny at all. And on the ground, you catch a glimpse of someone's shadow and their feet as they look down upon you. Guess whose feet those were? When the person who disliked looking back so much finally turned around, everything was over. Did you see the fragments of despair from there? Or were you staring at the bits of my fingernails scattered on the floor? That was the exact moment I knew true helplessness. Without you, I'd never have known the feeling. Thank you so much. Now, what about you, manager? Have you ever felt helpless to control anything? When unbearable things pour down from somewhere that isn't your body and overwhelm you, it just feels so awful to be helpless, being out of control of yourself. Come on, please tell me, so I can feel rewarded just a little bit. Hey. Elijah was impatient, and her impatience caused many common mistakes. She once went on a long, winding filibuster of why she needed to finish the experiment, but I don't remember the details. Whenever she was told that she wasn't ready yet, I could see the strong desire in her eyes. It was a craving, a bizarre obsession. If another person had been in my place, they may have turned around for the sound of her hasty footsteps. Cogito was something she couldn't access at her level of authority. The only task she was ordered to do was record the changes that occurred in test subjects. She was aware that at the moment Cogito was absolutely not ready for human use. When I finally realized what was going on, half her teeth had fallen out, and... Kill me! Please! Kill me! Ignore her. Manifestation of Caliphate due to Sephira breakdown. Suppression of Sephira's core required. Okay, 1 second. Dog's asked me to bring him out. I'll be right back. I'll be right back! Are you discovering the deep scars that are inflicted upon this place? Manager, there's something I hadn't informed you of when we spoke for the first time. The Sephiroth, of course, wholeheartedly want to meet you. They admire you and follow you. However, at the same time, they earnestly yearn for you to be swallowed up in resentment and curses. Please be careful with them. Well, you don't have to pay that fact too much heed if you wish. What I mean to say is you are free to go back to your daily routine. It's no big deal for me to fill their roles if some of our Sephiroth go mad. Though if you do, then you will lose something important forever. The seed that can break the cycle. Huh? What? Yes, do you really feel nothing about this? Try drinking some Keflin. Close your eyes and open them again. I'm glad to see that you are not as feeble-minded as the other Sephiroth. It is important to keep a clear mind in any situation. Gabriel, why are you scratching yourself so much? Seeing as we're meeting again, you must have completed your tasks, manager. I'd give you a compliment if I didn't have so much work to do. The information team has a task they must do periodically. You must have realized that there are some blanks in the abnormality records. Among the tremendous amount of information we gather, there are some that should remain off limits to the employees for security reasons. The names of the employees are one such thing. Any trace of them? What happened? Their gruesome death? Their desperate will to live? All of them has been stripped from the records on the false pretense of expunging information. There is no way for me to know what the criteria for stripping the records are. They are set by another department, not us. We only manipulate the information we receive per orders. Isn't it funny? We've degenerated into a department that destroys and manipulates information as ordered, yet somehow we're still called the information team. Whenever I introduce myself as the Sephra of the information team, I sometimes feel something bubbling up inside of me. Yes, son. Did you receive the documents to expunge? You will get the list of employees soon as well. Please do not forget to review it after you have finished expunging the documents. Miss Angela, what do you think it means to remember someone's name? This is the work you regularly do. Why are you so emotional about it today? Maybe names were marks atypical beings gave each other, to engrave upon each other their memories. Someone might have named you Angela, following the same concept. Yes, sir. If you happen to be too tired, please take a break. I knew you would say that. Referring to employees by name is not recommended here. When employees first enter the company, each one receives their own unique identification number. This is to allow the company to identify them using the minimum amount of personal information. We have their numbers in our data storage devices. Malkith has never called the employees by their names, ever, since she started working here. Maybe she is the most ideal Sephra amongst all of us. This is not to say that Malkith deserves to take all the pain as well. None of us do. What kind of poor taste is that? To lock us inside metal bodies and throw us into an endless loop of days that feel just the same as yesterday. I'm talking to you. What's with that oblivious expression? I heard you might be one of the architects responsible for our creation. The only thing I could do here is remember the names of a few forgotten employees and eternally despair, feeling nauseous from even a single breath of air. Have you had fun watching your guinea pigs run around in circles? See, I told you I've been rotting from the inside for a long time. Gabriel was more rational than anyone else. He was unmoved, even after hearing about what happened to Elijah. Some said he lacked empathy, but nobody realized that his emotions were festering on the inside. Maybe he began falling apart from long ago, or since Carmen left this world. He slowly became more expressionless. He wouldn't allow himself to have even a paltry joy. He also couldn't stand having even the smallest part of his body exposed. We made a monster that was not supposed to exist in this world. We went too far to even turn back. Not let what Elijah did be in vain, instead of taking the time to grieve. Everyone knew they needed to utilize the result to the fullest. He tried to maintain a facade of level-headedness, but his attempts to remain rational slowly morphed into an obsession. Yeah, everyone's going insane. He started to wear long-sleeve clothing that also covered his neck. Not much later, he started to scratch himself harshly. We suggested he receive a complete medical examination to see whether he was contaminated or had an infection, but he refused. Health checkups were needed to prevent further damage. Persuasion became coercion, and coercion led to the use of physical force. He was tied and bound for the checkup, but he resisted so desperately that it was hard for us to watch. Eventually, it turned out that he wasn't infected at all. Is that really fortunate, though? No, it wasn't. The examination did not resolve anything. He kept scratching himself so harshly, even worse than before. When I saw him last, he wasn't lucid or cognizant to any human speech, and his body was completely covered in scratches. No one has seen him since then. Manifestation of Clypha due to Sephira breakdown. Suppression of Sephira's core required. Don't worry, Hod. It's a very common side effect when you first take Enkephalin. It's just a light hallucination. It'll disappear after 2 or 3 times, so don't worry about it too much. For me, it was an employee whose face had half melted, crawled over my feet and grabbed me by the shoulders, asked me why I let her die. That wasn't a hallucination or anything. Then what? Are you trying to say that dead employees are suddenly coming back to life? You know, like, unbelievable things happen here. So maybe it is possible for dead employees to come back as if nothing ever happened, right? I'm not in any state to say this, but you don't look too good. Why don't you skip today's meeting? I can't do that. We have an abnormality response training today. They need me to run the drill properly. You're really something, huh? I don't think there's another Sephira here who cares about their employees as much as you do. God damn it, Netjack, stop getting everyone drunk. Oh, God, listen. I don't care if he gets everyone drunk. I, for one, actually love that he gets everyone drunk. I mean, like, it's caused this massive bromance scene in Library of Ruina. Like, I am dying to see the next bromance scene. Because he's just constantly getting everyone drunk. Everyone has a good time around Netjack. Ain't? Look, Tiffany, I was right. I'm a good person. I'm a good Sephira. Hello, everyone. Today we will... Are you still trying to play the good Sephira? Be focusing on abnormality response training. How many times do I have to tell you? You're only a sad piece of rusty scrap metal, putting on the act of being a good person. Now, I want everyone to pay close attention here. The abnormality we'll suppress today needs to be handled a bit differently than the others. If you had hoped that living such a lie would erase your conscience, it's really selfish. Starting now, I will be explaining the method I devised. Please listen carefully. At least the other Sephiroth are humble enough to admit that they're not perfect. Quiet! Oh, sorry, where were we? Excuse me, Miss Hod, I have a question. Yes, what is it? Do you think that this training will make any difference? I mean, against that Longbird, it feels like whoever will die or live is all predetermined. And there's nothing we can do to change it. Well, it should yield a better result than just doing nothing. At the very least, we can prepare a preventative measure rather than just wait helplessly to... It's just all about luck. We'd better run off and more comfortable to simply accept that we can die at any moment while working. Just know this. You won't reach that paradise no matter what you do. I'm doing this all for you guys. Even the counseling campaign. Now that you mention it, that compulsory counseling campaign is such a pain. We'd rather have a break time instead. Compulsory counseling? Excuse me? That's not good! Why is our department the only one that has to deal with these programs? It will keep repeating itself. Live with eternal sorrow and remorse in that metal mass. Well, all of you would be dead by now if I hadn't helped you. Why aren't you thanking me? Do you want me to get rid of you like Malkuth does before you even make the littlest complaint? Don't you say that I'm the bad one here. Are you finally admitting to your awful nature? Tiffany, why are you doing this to me? I am not Tiffany. Look at me. Can't you even distinguish your own voice anymore? Yes. Are you still having that sweet nightmare? When I read the article detailing Michelle's suicide, it was just as our experiment was starting to show some progress. Michelle was the youngest among us. She was a timid, innocent employee. It made her an easy target. Maybe it was her fate to be used as a pawn of the wings that were alert to us, or of the head that would watch over us constantly. You likely didn't know things would go the way they did. What the fuck had Hod committed mitosis, you're not wrong. You'd never have thought that a puny kid like you would bring about our demise. You'd never have believed that the situation would end up so much worse than your intentions. You probably tried to comfort yourself in the end, telling yourself that you did the best you could. But in this world, in that moment, there wasn't any other option for you. But Carmen was the person who was trying to change the world you resigned yourself to. We meet again in hell. Will I finally be able to forgive you? Crumple up the newspaper. Manifestation of Clypha due to Sephirim breakdown.